Why hello there, and welcome back to the final roll for funding of 2025. Yes, Zine month has ended, but there were still things that happened during the final week of Zine month that I have not talked about yet, because they happened after the last video I did. And yeah, this video is a few days late because I was launching an entire second channel, which does take a little bit of time, so check out the Video Dungeon, where I host horror movies. Everyone loves hosted horror movies, not just a very small, dedicated fan base that I happen to be a part of. Yeah, anyway, here's my final picks for Zine Month 2025. Starting with Resistance is Required, a game about fighting back against an authoritarian regime, which they do go out of their way to specify is entirely fictional and has no relation to any real-world events or regimes that we may or may not be dealing with currently. And it does seem to be made with an eye for both the idea that actions are intertwined and have consequences, and also that the important people in a revolution might be like archivists. You know, people doing important but kind of mundane stuff, not just spunky young adult protagonists who save the day by power of being the chosen one. Statistically speaking, most people are not the chosen one. And next up, Dracotrophication, which is kind of like biotrophication from last year, but with dragons. Okay, I suppose you probably want more than that, especially if you don't know what biotrophication is. So this is a two-player game where you run through a series of intimate scenes between a dragon and captured maiden, until the maiden is either freed or devoured and possibly fucked. The campaign very clearly states that dragon fucking is a possible component of this game, as well it should be in any game. Like, yeah, technically you can fuck the dragon in D&D, but it is very much not an intended part of the experience. And next up, Rolling Up Aliens, which is pretty much just a system for rolling up interesting non-human aliens. And I do love some actual aliens, as you will probably know if you've watched my videos. Because a bit of a hot take here, movies and television have created this very dull science fiction norm where even if an alien isn't going to be played by someone in a costume, they are still designed as if they are, because that is overwhelmingly what people are exposed to in mainstream culture, and they don't bother trying to think outside of that very, very small human-shaped box. So this one sounds very cool, both as a design aid and just a fun creature design and world-building exercise. And this is also the recipient of this video's Golden Flump, which I kind of forgot to do in all the previous videos. Oops. Like, this is definitely the game that I see myself most likely to actually play, and I might even stream. So definitely check this one out, because I really want this one to succeed so that I can have it. And finally, Kaiju Warfront, a solo Daikaiju battling game. And if you've been paying attention, you will know that there are two things that really get my attention: slashers and giant monsters. If only there were a way to combine the two. Like, admittedly, I still haven't even played the solo Daikaiju battling game that I backed last year, and yet still find myself considering backing another. Also, the really cool thing here is that it is an ongoing kaiju defense game, so you go from city to city and battle different kaiju until you either fight them all or are destroyed, making retreat a viable tactical decision since it means you only lose one city but still have the opportunity to save others, and I really like the third option that provides in the game. And of course, the most important project of all of Zine Month 2025, there are still a few days left for the Goblin Guide to Advanced Dice Rolling. An introductory guide to dice math and mechanics so simple even a goblin can understand. Which is, of course, the most important book on the subject of dice rolling that I have written. So, you gotta check that out. I do have late pledges enabled, so you actually will be able to continue pledging for a while after the campaign ends. But that is significantly less exciting, and you can get more special stuff before the campaign ends. And that is it. Zine month over until next year, maybe. I'm not willing to say anything a year away is definite at this point. I'm not even sure we're going to do a 2026. We might just call that off entirely. So, who knows what's going to happen in the future? With, of course, the notable exception that you are obviously going to go and back the Goblin Guide to Advanced Dice Rolling, and Rolling Up Aliens, and Dracotrophication. That's your homework for this video. Go back those 3 projects. Alright, bye. And thank you for watching. If you enjoy the wacky things I say and do, you can follow me on Blue Sky and/or Tumblr. You can also join me live on Twitch, where sometimes things get a little weird. And extra special thanks to my Fightin' Flail Snails, Broken Unicorn, D-Stex, Hasterfan, Mix Woofers, Nikolai Snowtail, Puggo, Randy Mulholland, Renee D, Stephen Kramer, Tila Glar, Toshiro Kuro, and Tyro the Fox. If you want to be cool like them, check out my Patreon or YouTube channel memberships. 2 different things that provide similar but distinct benefits. But if you don't want to do that, that's cool too. You can still hit all the lovely buttons, like, subscribe, these other videos that have mysteriously manifested from the ethers, which I am sure are lovely videos that you will also enjoy. And I will see you next time.